It's been a lot. It's been emotionally intense, mentally intense, very little sleep, all that. What's up, everybody? Nick Pags here for another episode, and I got a special guest. My man Zion is in the house. He's going to be pouching it with us today. We are keeping this one super short because there's really one question I want to pose to you that I want to explore. But what we're talking about is how fatherhood is going to amplify whatever's going on in your life right now. Whatever it is that you are struggling with, whatever it is that your challenges are right now, will likely be amplified in a big way when it comes to parenting. So we're going to dive into that. I'm looking forward to it. Zion, I'm pumped about it. What do you think, brother? Let's go. We'll see you in this episode. Hey, I'm Nick.
And I'm Bia.
We don't have all the answers, but we're definitely in it. And if you're ready to lead your family by being more of yourself, not less, then you're in the right place.
We are so grateful to be in this with you.
This is Dad Easy. Let's get into it. Today's a big one. Today's a big one because we got the man here. I don't know how much you could see him, but he is in my shirt. This kangaroo pouch thing is awesome. It's a game changer, by the way. I feel like I have a baby in my belly because I kind of do. But we'll see how much he lets us chat. Oh, okay. We'll see how much he lets us chat. I will be doing some bouncing. Forgive me for that. But listen, we got to do what we got to do. This man likes to move. I want to talk about how this whole birthing process and fatherhood has been an amplification of what already was. And this was a question that I had about parenting that I guess I kind of had to get to a place where you experience it and you figure it out. And it's definitely showing up here. I think when I thought about what parenting would be, my thought was that there'd be all these new challenges, all these new things. And let me tell you something, that is true. A lot of new stuff. It's been a lot. It's been emotionally intense, mentally intense, very little sleep, all that. We just found out our homie has a tongue tie and a lip tie, level 3 out of 4, which is probably the reason why Bia has had so much pain in her feeding journey, because it's just been like super brutal. He can't latch. So that's a big step that we're going to be taking, is hopefully getting that taken care of in the next few days. But with that, there's been very little sleep, a lot of just like emotional energy output, and he's cranky quite a bit of the time, and he has to keep moving because his feeding is not probably what it should be. So he's either hungry or he's got gas or whatever because of his tongue tie. So if you don't know what that is, look it up. I didn't know what it was until like yesterday. But what I'm noticing that I think is really powerful to talk about is that whatever's there is going to show up more in parenting. I think the more people I talk with, the more I realize everybody's situation is so specific, hyper specific to their life. And I was like, man, I thought there'd be like a lot of golden threads with parenting, like everybody's kind of dealing with the same stuff. And there is to a certain extent, but the way it shows up is very different in everybody's life is what I'm learning. And I think I'm starting to understand that what parenting is an amplification of what already is there. Like in a lot of ways, the way things come up during this time, at least for the first month for us, is an amplification of what was already here. For example, boundaries is a big one, right? I think we can all kind of imagine that when you have family that's close or friends that are close, there's a lot of opinions. There's a lot of thought. You should do this. You should do that. I'm your mom. You should listen to me. I'm your dad. You should listen to me. And what happens is that people kind of, because they love you or they love your child, they have their say. And part of what I've talked about discernment on this podcast quite a bit. Part of the discernment that had to come in is like, we're a family, the three of us making decisions, and not that we're not going to take into account people that we love, their opinion. But the bottom line is we have to make our own decisions. So the boundaries are super important. How do you set boundaries? Something that I've struggled with my whole life. And I think with people who have very close families, like super tight knit, or people who have kind of dysfunctional family situations, boundaries can be tough because you have to lay down the law. You have to set a standard, and people have to be enrolled into that boundary. Like, you can't just be like, Mom, you have to talk to me this way. Dad, you have to say that. And then they listen. They have to be aligned with what you're saying. So boundaries can get tricky. Point being, it's something I've struggled with, and maybe you can align with this. Like, maybe you've struggled with setting boundaries in your life around certain people, certain things, or certain actions, right? Like boundaries around the time you give to your health, boundaries around the type of food you eat, boundaries around the choices you make with going out or not going out, who you spend a certain amount of time with. Those are all forms of boundaries. Those have gotten illuminated more since we started this journey, BNI, like for sure. It has just amplified. So boundaries is one. Another one is communication. Like today we're having quite a tough day for multiple reasons, but B and I are struggling with our communication. It's because we got in an argument about something. We saw things differently, like different perspectives. And one of the things that B and I struggle with in our communication is that when we have differing opinions, Bia's version is we have differing opinions. We're not going to get anywhere. Stop talking about this. My version is we have differing opinions. We have to, work to openly talk about them and get some alignment here because we're a team and we got to figure that out. Which way is right or wrong? I don't know, but it's been an issue of ours for 6 years and we've worked on it and we've evolved it in many ways, but there's still a lot of work to be done. This is amplifying the experience of parenting is amplifying that same situation, communication. How are we communicating effectively? How are we making that happen? This has gotten so real for me. And I just, it's amazing to me. The more people I talk about parenting, they're like, bro, you say that so raw or so real, or I never thought about that. Where are we, guys? Why are we not talking about this? Maybe I just don't watch enough podcasts or I don't talk to enough dads. I don't know. Excuse me, sir. But everybody's saying the same thing. Like, man, I haven't heard that or I didn't realize that. I think it's really imperative that we have this discussion that who you are now, if you are pre-dad mode, how you're being in the world, it's going to amplify. Oh, okay. It's going to amplify and get more intense as you have a child. It's just going to bring more of what's already there. Now, I'm not saying it won't change you for the better. It won't amplify certain things or change certain ways you've been, right? There's that possibility for sure. But what happens right off the bat is that this thing comes into your world and all the weak spots or all the challenges just get more obvious because you have less time, you have less sleep. Like, think about your day right now and think about the hours you're sleeping. Think about the things you get to do to take care of yourself. Think about the freedom you have, the time you have. Maybe you don't have a ton, maybe you do, whatever it is. That's just going to be turned up to another level. So if you're somebody who creates a lot of freedom for yourself, you'll find in parenting, it's an opportunity to create a lot of great freedom. You good, man? If you're somebody who struggles or health is like an issue for you, it's going to become more difficult as it goes into parenting mode. For me, health has always been a priority. So I have been more, I'm not saying I got to the gym as much, but my health is even more dialed right now. Like I'm thinking, okay, I really want to make sure I fit this in or I get this training in, or I'm a soccer guy. So like I'm committed to getting to my sessions where I train with my squad multiple times a week. That's just non-negotiable. I'm making it happen, right? When I get to the gym, I'm like, I'm there, I'm dialed, I'm getting my thing done. Whereas before I'd kind of like, whatever, I'd go through the motions. I train hard, but like I'd have days where I'm like, whatever, I'll figure it out. So it's amplifying more of what was. So the question, what I want to just pose, and I want to keep this one short today because he probably won't let me keep it any longer, is what is going on in your life right now that you want to improve? What if everything in your life right now was amplified tomorrow, was amplified when you had a kid? What would you be excited about amplifying versus what would you be like screwed if it amplified? With your partner, do you love the way you communicate? Do you love the way you handle challenging situations? Do you love the way when things get tough, you guys team up? Or is it the opposite? When things get tough, you guys separate, you guys create resistance to each other. You put each other on opposing teams. That's gonna get louder. That's the only golden thread I'm seeing, because everybody's situation is so different. Like, I've been home every day, all day with this kid for a month. That's not what a lot of dads get to do. So for me to talk about like, oh, when you're home, what do you do? Probably doesn't apply to a lot of people. But what I can say is whatever is going on is going to go on more. It's going to go on louder. It's going to be more intense. So what areas of your life do you want to start working on today? Because if you don't start working on them today and getting them going before this little dude shows up, when he does show up, it's going to show up in leaps and bounds. That, my friend, is probably the end of our conversation because Zion says so. Are you done? Is that it? I think that's it for today. That's my question. What are the areas that are going to be amplified that you're ready to have amplified? What are the areas that are not going to be amplified? What do you want to improve on right now so that when you step into fatherhood, you're rocking and rolling? It's my time. I got to go. Say goodbye. Bye, everybody. Love y'all.